everyone, this is Texas Tiger Diggs again. I've been doing this melody testing thing for probably about a year now. Probably a little over a year. I started out and I had several machines that I brought in initially, so the stupidity that you see on display here is nothing that's exactly new. And I quickly got rid of most of them because I didn't know what I was doing. So I'm not saying that I'm an expert now, I'm just saying I am better now. So, I've been through the E-Track. This is my second AT Pro. I've had 2 AT Golds. Those were probably, and a Spectre V3i. So those were my first shots over the bow at melody testing, and each one of them went awry. Then I began to really get down and use, and the things that altered and changed everything was probably here. This is the Deus. This was the first, I purchased this machine, and I've said this to ad nauseum. I got it for a very good deal, about 40% off its real cost. On Amazon of all things, one of the personal sales. Sorry, it's dirty. I just used it today, and it really changed things. I began to use it, and not immediately did I begin to get results, but there was a valuable thing is buying really the reason that I've used this so well and gotten relatively competent with it is the fact that when I purchased it, it's French language. I was not going to be able to sell this for any reasonable cost. Now, I probably could have sold it and gotten most of what I got back, but it almost like when I bought this, it was a irrevocable step. You're going to learn to use this, or you're going to lose money on this. So that was the reason that this one stuck with me, and probably the reason I took this hobby up. But prior to getting this, I had the AT Pro, the Spectre V3i, and others, and used them and pretty much spit the bit on all of them. But now I'm doing this is not a review of these machines. These are my go-to machines here. This, of course, is the XP Deus, the Garrett AT Pro, the CZ3D, and the Fisher F19. And the amazing thing about the Fisher F19 is I've had such a short period of time, and it's worked its way up into my top machines. Now, these are my top machines. Now, all of these are VDI machines to a degree, even though the CZ3D is analog. They do give you some idea of what you may or may not be digging. Even though it's analog, I would consider this in a VDI machine, even though it just basically gets categorizations there. So, the Deus. Now, I'm not going to do a review of these because each of these machines is somebody's favorite, and I'm going to upset somebody with what I say. But suffice it to say, I've got all these machines, these 4 machines, and they're not going anywhere. That shows you what I think of them. They are excellent machines, all of them. Like I said, if you stick a gun to my head and says, you've got to find this, I'm probably going to use the Deus. The learning curve on the Deus is steep. It can be a load and go machine. You have the canned programs, the Deus Fast, the couple of different basic programs, the Gmax, you have several very good ones in there, but you don't really begin to get anything close to mastery of this machine. I've had this machine for just about a year, and I'm now beginning to tinker. Well, the last few months, tinker more and more with the base settings in order to get it to do what I want it to do. And I'm by no means an expert. But so this would be my go-to machine if all else failed and I needed to go, because this. So let me give you a rundown here. The XP Deus, both my gold rings at least 4, probably 6 of the silver rings were with the XP Deus. I got a silver ring with the AT Pro. I got a silver bracelet with the CZ3D and with the Fisher, even though, like I said, it's a very new acquisition. I also got a silver ring. So each one of these machines have been bloodied, so to speak. And up here, you see, I have the, and let's say right here that, to all intents and purposes, the base model of the XP Deus was paid for by its fines. Now, I also bought this coil, and that's another thing about the Deus. When you buy a coil, the brains are in the coil, you know, other than the control box. The control box and the coil are paired, and the coil has a great function because it's wireless. So the coil is not inexpensive. So the coil is the cost of a low-end, mid-range machine. So I still got a ring or two to get before I cover that cost. But the other machines, you know, and let me go. So you got the Deus over here to the side. Now the Deus is a price point above these machines. 3 times the cost of the Garrett if you play the full retail price, which I did. Twice the cost of the CZ3D, and about twice and a little bit more than twice the cost of the Fisher and the CZ3D, both. And it's, you know, about 3 times the cost of the Garrett AT Pro. If I'm going out coin shooting and I want to find gold or rings, even though I haven't found gold with these particular machines yet, now that could also be a function of the fact that I use the Deus so frequently. And another reason I use the Deus so frequently is just the size and the weight. It's just, you know, if I'm going into a new park, if I'm going to do prospecting, or if I just want to hit and run, this is my machine. So, you know, or with the 11-inch coil or the 9-inch coil behind it. And, you know, but the Garrett AT Pro is a half a tier or more below the XP Deus. But this is a great detector. So don't think anybody that I'm bad-mouthing the Garrett AT Pro. It's also a local company in my area, but I don't work for it or know anybody else that works for it. So I don't have any axe to grind or backs to pat. But in trashy areas, this is extraordinarily good. I use this and go into trashy areas when I'm having a hard day, and I can usually pull out a few coins, a few non-ferrous high conductivity targets among the pull tabs and the general trash that's around. So I really like this. It's a very good machine. It's also good in the open field. And if you notice, also in this little set, I have the coils that I have the nail attack coil, which I use with the AT Pro and AT Gold. I have the little tiny sniper coil, which I could really use in a trash area. Haven't used it much yet. I have the concentric AT coil. Now, if truth be told, this was probably not the smartest purchase I ever made, but it does work in my soil. If you're in a high mineralization soil, I wouldn't even think about a concentric coil. And then I have the stock coil, of course, on here, which is the stock. The stock was it 8 by 11.5-inch coil, something like that. And then I have the 5 by 8-inch coil, and this is also really spectacular when you're working in very, very tight, very, very trashy areas. You can pull targets out with that. So the AT Pro, I love this machine as well. Now I went out with the AT Pro today, and I went out and I couldn't find anything. I followed it with the XP Deus. I found targets with the Deus that I didn't find with the Pro. Now, you can never say it's a one-to-one relationship, because maybe I passed the target with the Pro and my coil was swinging the opposite way and I just missed the target. But the Deus is good also in trashy areas. So, you know, it really has no drawback there. Now the Deus is good in trashy areas. Now the reason I know that is one of the gold rings I found was in an area that is basically littered. I mean multi-layered, littered with pull tabs. But I found one signal that didn't fit with the other signals I was getting in the area. I stuck my little digger in and I popped it up, and up popped that platinum and gold ring. See, so, you know, I don't know. Would that have happened with the Deus 6, 8 months ago, 9 months ago? Maybe not, but I'm getting attuned to the sounds it makes, so it makes it easier to pick out something that just doesn't fit. Now, and it could be just blind luck. So, now the CZ3D is the unique member of this group. Now, it is a coin machine by its design. But I did find a silver bracelet with this, so it's not exclusively a coin machine. But if I'm going out to an area that I've used the Deus and I've used the AT Pro, I'll also follow it with the CZ3D. CZ3D is very deep. It may be comparable in depth to the Deus, and it is a special purpose machine. So you're going to, you know, like you're going to hit this high category. You're going to know it's a quarter, dime, a copper penny. You know, you turn on salt mode, you're going to know if it's zinc or if it's a high tone like a copper penny, etc. So it's also a great machine. Now, I'm not degrading that in any way. I also have the only 2 coils that I know of now that you can get with the CZ3D. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Is either the stock coil I have here and then the larger coil I have on there now. I don't remember the exact dimensions, but so it's also a very important machine in my collection. So the Fisher F19. Now the fact that, you know, in such a very, very, very short period of time it worked its way into this grouping is amazing. I really do like it. If you grade these machines on learning curve, you're going to go Deus, then it becomes a little foggy. Probably Deus, then the AT Pro. If you use Pro Custom mode, the AT Pro, then the CZ3D and Fisher are pretty much, you know, they're not that complex. But they are complex in use, not complex in configuration. But I do like this. You know, I do like the fact I can create a notch. I can move. I can create a volume break, so I know exactly where it falls, and you know where it's going to make a low sound for a ferrous target, a high sound for a non-ferrous target. So it's all great, and I really do like it. And the thing is that it's light. It's not as light as the Deus, but it's a very light machine. So after all that talking, let me get in, and here's the stock coil. And I bought the nail attack coil, and this is basically a coil for the gold bug. I don't know how I forgot that. For the gold bug nail, this is a gold bug coil, and this is basically a modification for the gold bug. You know, it's 19 kilohertz, so it's a high kilohertz, so it can be used for finding gold, etc. You know, of course, the kilohertz on the XP Deus is configurable. I'm not 12 kilohertz, I believe, 10-12 kilohertz on the Pro, and I really don't know the kilohertz rating on the CZ3D off the top of my head. But so here we go. Now this is my ranking. If I'm going to go into a trashy area, it's going to be the Deus first, or in the AT Pro. If I'm going to be in an open field, you know, let's just leave the Deus out of here. The Deus is going to beat most of these things. In an open field, the AT Pro is great, and also the Fisher is great. The CZ3D is also great, but I feel more comfortable if I'm going to be looking for gold with these machines, because I have numbers to work with. I can still do it with this one, but when it says pull tab, it has a little picture. It's psychologically more difficult to dig it than the number. That's purely my fault, but that's the case. So these are my machines, and I want to give you a good view of how I view each one of them. I don't know if I've done a very good job, but none of them are going anywhere. So you know I do like these machines. The CZ3D, I sometimes change these machines because I get tired of using one specific machine. That's probably my fault. And I'm not saying that's the correct way to do it. Like I was lectured extensively by multiple people when I started this multi-machine barrage that they believe in getting one machine and then learning it. But I'm a machine guy. I love the machines. I love digging coins, but I love the machines. So if you're a machine guy, you like machines. So, you know, I like to go out with different machines at different times. And I do have some guidelines. The AT Pro, like I said, is trashy. The AT Pro is sort of a little brother to the use of the Deus. The CZ3D and the Fisher is also, you know, is also a good general use machine. CZ3D is just in a class by itself. It's difficult to describe. In any case, this is Texas Tiger Digs, and I went a little long with that, but I thought I would show you my main machines, why I use them, what I think about them. You know, like I said, I'm a big Deus user. I can't really grade these machines against the CTX 3030. I've had an E-Track before. But I didn't have enough knowledge when I had it to even think about comparing it with these machines. The CTX 3030 is its own beast, and I'll let those people who know how to use that. I'm not likely to get one until there's a CTX 5050, and then the 3030 is cheap. In any case, I'll talk to you later, and you have a good day, and I hope this somehow describes, you know, my chief machines. Now, I have beep and dig machines. So I will be doing one of these for the beep and dig machines because you know I love my Tehan. I have a Nocta, I like that as well. And I just found 2 silver rings with the Tesoro Outlaw. So it's also one of my go-to machines. So that's all I've got to say for you. And, you know, I'm going to be out hunting. I've got a few days off, so I don't know if it's going to increase my hunting time or somebody's going to find something else for me to do with my time. I'm going to try to get as many hunts in as I can. You have a good day, and I will see you at the next hunt. See you at the next dig.